She's coming in. Anyone have changes they wish to make to the agenda?
Well, we have certain topics, they probably fall under like new buildings, so I guess
Right.
we don't need to make changes.
Okay, and we are gonna have an executive session later, so if there's anything particularly
Okay.
sensitive you wanna discuss, we'll do it then.
Okay?
Okay, would everyone rise please for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Megan, would you lead us please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Everybody's phone turned to vibrate or off or something? Okay. Privilege of the floor?
Do we have
Nobody?
that at a work session?
What?
Yeah,
we do.
we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
we're really nice.
anybody who wants to come to our work session and talk to us, welcome to it.
Come on down. Okay, approval of the minutes from August 24th.
Do we do approval of the minutes at a work session?
You can.
We can. We're behind. We weren't able to do minutes
that's
for,
right, okay.
and that's why we're doing it now, just so we can catch up. Yeah, because it's October or whatever, and this is 2 months old to me. So, anyway, anyone notice any issues in the? Can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll move.
Jim and Megan, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, no opposed, thank you. All right, committee reports. So you were talking, do we wanna start with the new building, or do you wanna pick up the conversation you guys were
We'll come back to that, 'cause there's so many, get rid of the other stuff first, because that could take a while.
Okay, so what are we gonna talk about on the new building, anything?
Oh, I was gonna say, why don't we skip the new building and come back to
Oh,
it?
right, I thought you meant to skip there, okay. Let's do physical resources, since you were talking about that when
Okay.
we started.
Well, we had an out-of-order bathroom today, but luckily, after calling 5 or 6 plumbers in a row, I was able to have someone come over and fix it. We thought we were going to have the toilet actually replaced, but the honest plumbers, they came in, they brought a toilet, because Danny and I had looked at it, and it was basically, it looked like we had to just swap it out, and they were able to take care of it with a valve or two. We were out of here in 10 minutes, so. Yeah, it was good, because I don't believe, I should have written it down, from Monroe, Eber, out of Monroe. I tried, I just went in concentric circles out from Goshen, and everybody was missing. Yeah, so, so that was that, and then the painting. I wanted to talk some more about what you wanna do about that.
Right.
We had a conversation a few days ago now, probably last week, about trying to get the paving done before winter. Question about whether we use full remediation or just a regular paint job has been an issue a couple times, and the county seems to believe that we don't, it's not required in this case.
Okay.
So we should just go ahead
Fine
and,
with that, yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna call these guys, I've got two different
Okay,
people to
good.
call. Have we had estimates in the past?
I could dig some up,
Other
yeah.
people? Alright, I know
We
one
were
third
two,
person that
did,
might.
didn't
It was a
we?
lot,
But I
yeah.
can't remember how big a job it was, if we were just having them do, remember we had something, whether it was just for the window frames, do you remember?
They did
Or-
some little work. That's
Yeah, right, and it wasn't, I don't think it was the whole building, but I can't,
Yeah.
And
but
what are we
that's
talking-
gotta be 2 years ago or more,
What are we talking about, the window, just the exterior
Yeah.
of the building?
right, the exterior, right,
Yeah.
just
Um,
wanna preserve it as best we can.
so I'll make some
Okay.
calls tomorrow, I guess.
Sure.
Try to get some people in here right away, before it gets too cold.
Okay, good.
Okay, community, anything else with physical
And
resources?
you can award, excuse me.
Oh, it's fine.
You can award it without, if it's under 20,000 or
Right,
something.
right.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, we don't need a bid.
And we have X amount of dollars, remember what it is, for, construction, capital
Mhm.
projects?
Annually is 24,
24.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think we're behind,
It's
so.
not capital,
It's,
no.
well,
capital
it's
projects.
capital,
Yeah, it
it's,
is.
Rather versus operating budget.
yeah,
Right.
because it's maintenance of
It's
the building, yeah.
maintenance.
So we,
It's not
when we
necessarily-
posed that to the
it's not
public, it was,
capital.
yeah, we call it capital, but
Painting
it's.
is not usually capital. It's a wear and tear item. Anyway.
Yeah, either way, that was one of the things we listed as necessities, so, yeah.
Right.
So should we, let our director make a judgment as to whether or not to award the, or should we try to make the decision in 2 weeks, the final decision?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, let him do it, 'cause time's of the essence, isn't it?
Okay, if time is of the essence.
And
it
it
really
is
sounds-
painting, it's
yeah.
not like
Yeah.
we're,
Okay.
What do we know about painting?
really, it's not like the rest of us know more about it than you would. But, mostly what we would be concerned with is someone who can do the job and the price is good, and
Right.
they're well recommended, so.
Mhm.
Painter.
Yeah, I think we can trust Matt with
Right.
that.
Okay.
And didn't we already empower him to do that? I think we did.
I think we do too.
I
Okay.
think so. Okay, community resources, I'm sorry, anything else for physical resources? New, okay. Community resources, Norma, the piece you're putting in the newsletter is beautiful,
Very nice.
Yeah.
nicely done.
Good
Thank
writing, good
And that
words.
Spanish version of the FAQs too, right?
Oh, good job.
We're gonna print some out for
That's why it's
Megan,
like
but we just
teacher.
like you to review it if you have a chance. Make sure it's correct, cause we did some cutting and pasting and not everything fit exactly the way, you know.
Okay,
some-
when do you want me to read it
Um,
tonight, or?
If you
to-
could, just
to-
by tomorrow sometime, just
Send
email
you an
me
email.
and we'll,
Reduce the font size.
right.
What?
Reduce the font size. So it all
Why?
fits.
And you saying it didn't all fit?
It's pretty, I mean, we pretty much got it to work, I think.
Okay.
But Michelle was concerned that she may have dropped something in the, in moving stuff over from one version to the other. So-
Sure.
So she doesn't read Spanish, so probably best that someone can.
Oh,
The document that you sent to us to look at, remember how many words it is? Was there a word count when you did your word processing?
Yes, but I don't
Okay.
remember.
Because as far as letters to the editor are concerned, which is a
Mm.
slightly different situation,
Oh, okay.
there's a cap usually of 250. I
which
think it's-
editor?
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
So that's the Times Howard record,
Yeah,
has that cap
yeah,
of
they-
250.
Right.
But the,
And the others tend
Indy
to-
might be
They're
more
okay.
lenient, yeah.
You know, you can be a little more generous with
Yes.
the others, but the
oh,
record.
okay.
So I don't know if we're gonna use that or use parts of it or something. We'll talk about that.
Sure.
Mm.
This is a good point, actually. We should talk about the newsletter and how we want to work with the newsletter, because I talked with Michelle today, and this might be something we need to run by Alan, not we need to, but might want to run by Alan,
Sure.
as to whether we want to have, should I say, a newsletter, depending on how Alan wants to do, that is our typical newsletter that has programs, etc., and then in there will be part of it will be dedicated just to the building, or do you want one of these full-size newsletters that would be all about the building? Like Norma's part would be here, there would be the pictures, say, over here, and on this side you'd have like maybe if you vote yes, you get this. If you vote no, whatever. In other words, both sides, the whole thing, building, project centric. Alan Berger might not want that, but
Right.
remember, this would be a separate newsletter in addition to our usual quarterly.
Yeah.
The other thing we were thinking of, that would be tough. We could do it. We could definitely do it, but
The cost is it 5,000?
roughly,
Okay.
yeah. Because the other thing we were thinking of, I just have different sizes here, is if we want to do
Like a mailing.
more like a mailing, like something like this size,
That's what the school
That
does
would
for
be
their
a
budget.
right. That would be just the renderings, and I don't know. We'll have to ask Alan exactly what goes in there. He's always pushed from the beginning, though. You want to sort of decorate it with what you're doing as well. So I don't know if he'd like something just dedicated to the building or how we want to move on this. But I'm getting a little concerned because looking at the calendar, if we're going to do one of these things,
It's gotta be out.
we really got to get pushing to do it.
I think we should talk to him first.
So maybe tomorrow I'll give him a ring and run that by him.
Well,
Okay.
what's, as a collective body, what do we wanna push for? I think the smaller, the building and concentrate on all the wonderful things, lots of pictures of children and adults and workshops here and, that kind of thing. I think that's,
Can that be smaller?
You mean
You say
somewhere
can
in between
Yeah,
this
no,
and
that,
this,
that,
or
no,
this?
all that we
that
want.
size,
This
that
size.
size.
So this size, that would open up, that
Yeah,
kind of thing? Yeah.
And then, part
so
of
then
it,
it would be,
taxes,
So that's
talk,
sufficient.
yeah,
right, and then all of just two-sided kind
yeah,
of?
yeah.
I mean, it would be
I think-
cheaper that way.
Right, so an 8.5
Yeah.
by 11 with the drawings and the,
It would be the rendering of the outside of the
Mhm.
building.
right,
And the, we should definitely have a column there in terms of taxes, because a question was asked of
Right.
us,
right.
what's the tax impact, for the village, the
We need to
town,
have
and
that
the
table in there.
surrounding
Right,
areas
right.
that we,
Mhm.
have that table in there, absolutely.
Mhm.
What will happen
Which-
if the referendum fails?
like the school district does that.
Uh-huh,
What will happen if the budget fails?
right.
These will be cut, for example.
That's sort of what we saw when we went to
No,
that,
We don't have that. We
No.
can't do that.
We
don't-
have nothing
that's-
that
We won't
That's,
cut, but we will be here at the mercy
We'll
of.
have-
No,
we
I-
have to s-
I
state each
understand
year.
that,
right,
but
that
what
kind
will
of thing.
happen with, for instance, we'll have to continue applying for the variance. The state could possibly,
You can just put
Close us.
reminders
Yeah.
that
Close
we
us.
still will not be ADA compliant, we still will be out
yes,
of,
Yeah.
compliance with state guidelines, we still, we'd make it a little more
yeah,
persuasive than that, but that sort of thing.
yes.
And like you said, we mentioned, we will still have to annually, approach the state with a variance request to remain open, we will still, that,
Yeah.
and then on the other side, what you'll get, you
And
could-
the
you could-
cost of maintaining this building should,
Yes,
the roof at some point need major repair. I mean, we've done repairs to the roof on the 1977 edition, which is
Right.
what we did the $25,000,
Yep.
Right.
capital improvement. The main roof, we've had leak upon leak upon
Oh.
leak.
Yeah.
But I think-
You
we don't wanna do put things out there that would cause somebody maybe interested in purchasing
Mm.
this building to back off because
Right, we don't wanna,
there's
right.
things that would need to be done.
Yeah.
Not that we
Well, and
know
it-
of these
it's-
things that need to be done at this
Mhm.
time.
You don't
It's
wanna make
a-
it sound like a horror show.
No.
Right, and we also wanna be careful with, how negative we get if this
Right,
fails,
I was just
because
Yeah.
we're trying to keep this positive, we're trying to
Right,
keep this
you-
forward motion, talking about, it sounds threatening, which is what pisses everyone off when the school does it. It sounds like they're holding the kids hostage, and I can't tell you how many people get angry with them for it, which is why they don't have the big turnout they're always looking for.
Yeah, the condition of this building is not so much the issue,
It
it's
really
the
isn't. It's
services
the
that this
size
building
of
can
this
provide.
building.
Parking.
The size of the
Yes.
building, the
Yeah.
parking, the configuration of the building just doesn't serve the community.
People are shut
And
out of
that's that.
programs because
Yeah,
they
and
cannot,
I
you
think
can't
a lot
house
of
more than 12
people
people in this room.
Already know what annoys them about this building, and reiterating all of the other things that are wrong with it. We have a limited amount of space, we should keep it as
All the
positive as we
things,
can.
yeah. There's
And then
there's so
direct them
many.
to the website, and then,
Yeah. I think that's
somewhere on the
sufficient.
website, what happens if the referendum fails, then we put it there. So it's not broadcast across the county,
Yeah.
because we want people will remember 2 or 3 things from the flyer. We don't want one of those things to be something negative about the library, So I think we should keep that positive and
So-
forward.
That's Alan's whole thing.
Yeah, right, and that's one of the things I agree with Alan about, that we should
Well,
keep it forward.
Okay,
How
I'll
about
keep
some-
He's
How about also
obnoxious.
some well-placed quotes from patrons?
Yeah.
Good idea, that's nice.
Like
Like
You
little
had
colored
mentioned that, yeah,
boxes
that's a
with
good idea.
quotes,
Okay.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have some.
just,
like testimonial quote kind of
yeah,
thing, yeah.
We have it in previous newsletters, we could just
No, we
take
never
different
had- we didn't
previous
ask. Right.
newsletters,
Right,
the
Yeah,
children's
friends
programs. I mean, I was at
and
a cooking demo that the folks from Limoncello's
Oh,
were
yes,
doing
yeah,
in
mhm.
here,
mm-hmm.
and several people walked out, just completely enthralled with the recipes that they learned, especially the Thai basil margarita.
That is
So was that a food, was that food or was that a drink?
Thai basil margarita, sounds like
Okay,
a drink.
margarita, I didn't know there were,
Yeah, really, how did I
Those,
miss that
yeah.
class, wow.
I thought it was cooking cooking with margaritas.
That's right.
Not that you add
Enough
it, but
margaritas, you
drink
don't
it.
care anymore.
You're cooking.
So, alright, so are we in agreement, we're gonna,
Yeah,
each
well,
of
I
those
like
size,
We'll all
let's see.
see, nice picture, positive.
Right, lovely picture, come out and vote yes, all the wonderful things you're gonna get if you get this new library, quotes from people who love the library and the programs. Everybody sound good?
And the budget.
And the budget,
Okay,
right, the
yeah,
cost
the
of the
cost.
project
Mm.
per household.
Now,
And nowhere can you say vote yes.
Right,
What?
right.
And
come
nowhere
out
can you say vote yes.
Come out and vote.
You can say,
Right.
Support.
here's
That's
what we
right.
wanna do, support, yeah.
the
That's right.
the firm,
Somebody
the
can
company
get
that
children.
gave us the tax rate for Goshen,
Financial,
advisors.
fiscal advisors, right.
they also gave us tax rates for other towns.
Yes.
Right, we
the
put
same
that
piece
on
of
the
paper.
website.
That's on the website now.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
Yes,
Ah.
Mhm.
it's on the website.
Great.
Mhm. It wasn't on the
Friday.
website at the last meeting.
Got
We
it up.
made sure
Then-
the numbers were correct, because some of the, Wallkill, there's like 732 addresses, 700 of them are businesses. You know, it's that kind of a thing. So I don't know if it's actually 700, but the majority of the addresses in the town of
Yeah.
Wallkill are businesses. So it's a small number of households, but the tax rate's pretty high in Wallkill.
Do we wanna include all of that,
Well,
or just the?
we have to have the information out there.
Town, village,
And-
or a link to where the other rates are.
Really
Yeah.
tiny, like the size of a period.
No, no,
We'll put one of those.
No, I don't think
one
we
of
wanna
those
be
Q
seen as
codes.
hiding anything, I think
No,
it
yeah,
is what it
we
is.
don't
No,
hide
no, I'm
anything.
kidding.
But
No,
no,
and the
I'm
thing is,
joking,
it
yeah.
isn't, and it's also honestly, in, you know, if you look at the broad picture of all the taxes you spend, another $80 a year for a brand spanking new library, not a lot of money, $120 a year more. You're already paying thousands and thousands to the school district, however much they're paying to the town. And the rates aren't set by
Yeah.
us, the rates aren't set by, you know what I mean,
If it's
so,
a small number of patrons that live
Yeah.
in that area,
right.
then
Well, that's
certainly have it at the
part of
bottom.
the reason we only use the Goshen numbers in
Right,
the
that's the
the
majority.
trifold was because the vast majority of the school district is Goshen.
Yes.
And Chester is the same amount as Goshen. So that right there is a big chunk of the school district. The other
Yeah.
ones are little tiny towns around, you know, and I think they already know if they're getting shellacked on their taxes, so if I including it, I don't think will be surprising for the people who are going to pay those amounts. And I don't wanna look like we're hiding anything. I mean, we were
It's on this
limited in
website.
space, and we're limited in space here too, so, you know.
Yeah.
You asked me if we had any angry
Check with banks.
responses, I just remembered, if you live in the town of Chester
Yes,
and the Goshen School District, you pay 2 library taxes.
I know.
You pay one to Chester's and
And
to
one
Goshen.
to Goshen, I know.
So I said to the guy who explained this to me, I guess you're gonna vote no.
Yeah, right. How many of
He
them
said,
are there, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna vote no. He's still gonna pay taxes though. I mean, it's just, but they kinda compensate for the people who are in Arcadia Hills, who are in the Chester
Mm.
School District, but the town of Goshen, they don't pay any library taxes.
Indeed.
But they get to use our library because they got grandfathered in.
Don't they?
Yes. So when we hit the special school, the special district thing, we gotta scoop them back up. But, yeah.
So we should,
We should
the
pursue that,
tax,
keep the tax amounts in there,
amounts, okay,
yeah,
including surrounding,
right, including surrounding areas. And if you wanna put different font sizes.
You could put
Because-
most residents will be, most residents
residents.
reside in the Goshen, in the
Right.
town of Goshen and will pay this rate, and then
Right.
a smaller
and
font, you could say if you live in one of these outlying
Right,
areas.
that's a good idea,
Right.
yeah, because the vast majority of the school
Yeah.
district is Goshen, and they'll pay the 4119 per 100,000,
okay.
okay.
And
So-
this one's gonna have to be vetted by a few board members before it goes out,
Sure.
because it's not, you know, it's especially delicate and it's especially important that we,
Run
So
it
we
by
get it right.
Paul and Megan as well.
you know, that it's, yeah, that
Yes,
it's
good
accurate, that
idea.
it's, cause
Right,
it's easy to write about the programs and all that kind of stuff, because we're here living it, you know, this is a
yeah,
little
this
more
is.
official.
We're dreaming it.
Living it right.
Okay,
448.
anything else?
That's it for building stuff, right?
Okay,
That's
and
it
that was
for
actually community
sorry.
resources.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, human resources, we don't have anything, right? How's the Sunshine Committee doing, Jim?
We have a balance on hand
No, I still owe you
Rather-
$20.
of $32, and
Alright.
we
But we're gonna
expect
go.
revenues of $40.
Alright,
We're okay. The last thing we did was the Chamber of Commerce Journal, a
right,
banner for Kentisham.
very nice.
Okay, yeah.
And how are the friends doing?
You'll be there?
Yes, actually, we are going to go. Are you going to be there? Good.
I miss it.
Nice.
It should be fun. We're gonna sit at the Griffith Realty table because we know a lot of the people from Griffith Realty that are also being on it.
Very
Say
nice.
hi to you.
Oh, good.
I don't know what table I'll be, but maybe one in the corner.
You're welcome.
The friends.
The Friends upcoming event, November 7th, Saturday. Ed Connor is going to talk about famous historic fires in the town of Goshen and show 110 slides. Not going to spend a lot of time on any one of them.
I think,
But there are some buildings that are, some fantastic old buildings. Some of the buildings were burned down on purpose because that was the way you demolished an old building 50
Sure.
years ago. and other fires were not intentional as far as we know. There were some that were arson, there were some as well that were arson.
This
And where
Saturday.
is this and when?
It's November
Seven?
7th.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here?
No, it's gonna be because of the space limitation. Because of the space limitation, it's gonna be at the
School
district.
School district. okay.
And as a result, we'll have to pay for that space,
Mm.
for the maintenance of it. The Winter of the Witch, I don't know if you've heard or not, we had an unbelievable turnout, 65 people.
Oh, wow, that's great.
The place was packed.
yeah.
Half of them were kids.
Good.
We had 48 donuts. We had a little problem there.
Oh.
I think the girls that were from the Junior Friends expected to get their share of donuts,
Yeah,
and
it
that
didn't
didn't
happen.
happen.
You didn't have 96 half donuts?
Well, we didn't, they kept coming in. I think we kept giving them donuts, and then by the time we suddenly realized this is a bigger group than we thought, it was too late to cut them in
No
half.
donut for you.
But when the kids first got there, we had this as a placemat. We had tables set up, and this is the house.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
nice.
great.
And this was drawn by the current resident, Barry Tarek, who is an architect,
Okay.
and he did drawings for us.
Wow.
And then we had crayons, and the kids did did some crayoning, and you get, this is a very young child.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Very scary.
Good,
Scary.
artist, no doubt.
There you go.
Is that the witch in the attic?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's great.
then some of them are a little better.
Oh, very nice. Where's the house?
And
Looks familiar, but it's.
getting,
Yeah.
getting better.
Oh, nice, that's nice and scary.
Yeah.
I like the spider
Yeah,
on the back. Did you see the spider
Oh,
on the
yes,
back?
yes, the double. And I think this was the best of
Wow.
Oh, I love it.
the lot, although some of them were taken home, so we don't know what they
Yeah.
look like. But anyway, the
That's
kids were
great.
having fun. The girls were talking to them, encouraging them to do the coloring. Then we had, let's see, I'm trying to remember. I guess I spoke to them after the film. I spoke to the group a little bit after the film, but because I had interviewed several people who were involved with the production. One of them was Al Turi, who was at that time about 25, and he was hired for the week to drive people around and to get heat in the building, because there was no heat. They used the nickname of salamanders, the kerosene heaters, and he got to meet Hermione Gingold, and
Oh, nice.
she told him not to smoke. They stayed at the Orange Inn. The Orange Inn was like a hotel at that time.
Nice.
Had their meals and slept there. And then I spoke to Alexis Brinkley, whose mother is the one that restored the house. She lives in Richmond, and she gave me some anecdotes. So when the film was over, we talked about the film a little bit, and people in the audience were saying what their connection was with the film. And there was one person, Linda, from Linda's Office Supply. Her father-in-law was prominently featured at one of the parties at the pancake thing, dancing. And so she was thrilled to see that. And Phil Pines and his wife, they were in it. People recognized, they recognized people.
Sure.
So at the end, we had said, bring a flashlight, we're gonna go walk around the house. And I expected, at this point it's like 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
it's a little chilly. So I said, who wants to walk around the house? Everybody. Like, they all,
65
"Yeah."
people traipsing around the house.
So we lined up outside, and it was like 50 yards long line with flashlights. We did our walk. We got on the far side of the house. We stopped, and people were shooting their flashlights around, and they just loved it.
That's
When the
great.
film
Please
ended,
show
they
them.
applauded.
That's
They
great.
applauded vigorously when the film
fantastic.
ended. And the film's funnier than I thought, because they were laughing at stuff I hadn't really thought was that funny, but when a group starts to laugh, you
Get
join
into
in.
it, yeah.
And I've told you this story, but when we were leaving, we were just leaving the property. I was leading the way, and there was a little girl about 4, and her mother. And so I turned to the little girl and I said, "Do you think there's still a witch in the attic?" And she said, "Isn't she an actress?" Okay, kid, you're too sharp for me.
There's no Santa Claus too.
That's right. At the end of that.
That's a
Sounds
good
like
tur-
a
good
yearly
turnout.
event now.
That's
for
great.
James.
Well, I don't
64
think,
people.
no, yearly, but I think we could do it in maybe 3 years, do it again.
Nice.
With a new group of kids or something, I don't know.
Yeah, very
But it
nice.
was really fun,
Sure.
so,
We put an email blast out about it. I'm not sure if that helped boost your,
oh, maybe it did.
it's going out to over 3,000 people, so.
Yeah,
That's
I hit that
great.
100,
Yeah, nice.
and that was great.
Okay. All right, so, oh, what time is the thing with Ed Counter on the
It's
7th?
10 o'clock in the morning.
10 o'clock in the morning, okay.
We're hoping to film it. We're looking to get a camera.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna send out an announcement to friends, and I hate to just keep, pounding people with emails, so,
Sure.
but I need to send that out, it's time now.
He's gonna have it's a presentation, yes?
Mm.
So you're gonna have 2 cameras, one on him and one
I
on,
don't know. I'm gonna talk to the friends about getting one camera anyway, some at least to
yeah, we're gonna be able to
Hire an editor and
put it all
Sound
together.
guy.
I don't know yet.
Does the-
make sure they're synced, make sure the time's synced, yeah, it's a lot.
Does the school district have a video production class that might wanna come and do
there
that?
you go.
That's an idea.
That'd be neat.
It's interesting.
Mr.
Is it
Mr.
Tucci?
Tucci? Yeah.
Mr. Tucci, yeah.
Because we would have then, we'd have the camera trained on him speaking, and then we would have the PowerPoint of the slides, and someone would just have to.
I mean, they
don't
could
know.
edit the whole
Superimposed,
thing.
Yeah, somehow take those two things and make something out of
I
it.
figured if
So-
they just got the PowerPoint slides, they could, capture it themselves,
Mhm.
the kids, whatever,
Yeah.
with the editing,
Mhm.
and
And then
put it in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
interleave it or whatever, yeah.
My granddaughter videotaped the Al Turi interview and then made a little program with the music and stuff.
Nice.
You can do
Um,
so much these days, right? I guess.
I
with
know.
the-
Yeah,
Mhm.
the kids
Digital
are
stuff.
unbelievable.
Sure.
She's in 7th grade.
What are they called again?
It's them internet.
Who owns the movie, The Winter of the Witch? Is it a library? Does
Who
the-
has the copy
who-
of it?
Yeah,